A10 Fan Shop. We have hoodies, long and short sleeve t-shirts, and much, much more. And it's all just a click away. Go to a10whb.com/shop to see the whole selection. That's right, a10whb.com/shop. The A10 Fan Shop has gear for everyone, young and old. And we have new gear dropping all the time. Go to a10whb.com/shop to find the latest gear and rep your hometown radio station, Sports Radio 810, WHB, and your favorite teams. Go to a10whb.com/shop.
The art of sports has come to Leawood. The fast-growing sports card market gets an upscale remix in their gallery, which features not only sports cards, hobby boxes, framed jerseys, but also an extensive array of high-quality sports-themed art and photography. The best part about the art of sports is that it's reasonably priced with a huge selection. This is your can't-miss Father's Day gift shop. Does your man cave, office, waiting room, or favorite sports bar need a refresh? They have you covered like no one else at the Art of Sports.
A KC tradition since 1957 and voted the best steak in Kansas City, Hereford House is a locally owned steakhouse that has served generations of Kansas Cityans. Hereford House exclusively serves certified Hereford beef. All their steaks are aged 21 days, hand-cut daily, and grilled over an open charcoal flame. Go to HerefordHouse.com for hours, new menu items, and to make your reservations. Follow Hereford House on Facebook and Instagram for exclusive specials. Hereford House, voted Kansas City's favorite steakhouse.
Diamonds Direct celebrates the summer of 2021 with a spectacular offer that everyone's loving right now.
All right, boys,
5
gonna come
years,
in
zero
just a
interest
little bit
financing
after
on anything and everything. Upgrade her diamond now and spread your payments over 5 years with zero interest. Go ahead, splurge on that designer necklace or those diamond earrings. It's easy with this amazing offer. Pick any item, divide the price by 60, and that's your monthly payment. And no down payment is required. You can even finance the sales tax. People are driving for hours to take advantage of this. You get the unbeatable price Diamonds Direct is famous for, and you spread your payments over 5 whole years. Imagine a $12,000 designer engagement ring or diamond tennis bracelet, just $200 a month. It's the smartest and easiest way to buy, and doesn't cheat us. It's happened in the last year. Don't miss this incredible opportunity. 5 years, zero interest financing now for a limited time. Only at Diamonds Direct on approved bank at 119th and Row.
Kansas City's hometown sports station, Sports Radio 810 WHB, Kansas City.
America's largest all-sports radio station presents the #1 motorsports show for 2 decades, Track Talk, brought to you by Lucas Oil Products. Here are the Racing Boys, Scott Traylor and Kirk Elliott.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Track Talk here on Sports Radio 810 WHB, as well as RBN, the Racing Boys Broadcasting Network. Don't forget to check out the new apps, racingboys.tv. If you guys would like to watch any of our live video, you'll have to do it through our apps now. And if you are a current member on racingboys.com, all you need to do is go to the app, reset your password, and you're on your way just like you were. So if you already paid in, you're all set up to go on the app as we speak. So welcome to everybody to the show. It's going to be a good one here today. We're going to be talking a little bit outside of the Kansas City market. We're going to talk New Tulsa Speedway with Tim Cunningham, who's going to join us to talk about what's going on down there at the third installment of Tulsa Speedway. So that should be good. We'll talk to Lee Spencer as well. We've got a call in to Derek Hagar, who picked up a win last night, didn't he, Kirk?
Yeah, boy, he was a busy guy last night down at Crowley's Ridge in Arkansas. He ran 3 non-wing, or 1 non-wing, 2 wing sprint races last night, but he won one of them, the non-wing Elite Series feature at Crowley's Ridge last night, and he almost pulled off the win in the Mid-South winged sprint car class last night, but fell just a little bit short as Brad Roden from out of Tennessee came up with the big win down there live on Racing Boys. So
good race, though, right?
Yeah, good crowd down there. That's a neat racetrack. Crowley's Ridge, high bank.
Yeah.
That's like got a little banking to it.
Looks like a place we need to go to.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
right,
and they had a great crowd, and they called it No Fender Friday.
I saw that.
Love that.
Yeah.
That midget race that topped things out at the end of the night was a dandy as well.
Would somebody be offended if we called it No Sheet Metal Friday?
I don't know how that would go over. Somebody might be offended by that.
Somebody might be offended by that, right?
I like No Fender Friday. I like that.
No Fender Friday. Well, that was good stuff right there. Where else were we last night, Kirk?
Gallatin Speedway, the home of Adam the Grizzly Bear. The Grizzly Bear didn't show up last night. They're saving him for the big event you're going to be at coming up in July, right?
No, I think they retired Adam.
They did?
Yeah, I think they retired Adam the Grizzly Bear.
He looked a little tired a couple of years ago when you were out there.
He's looking a little tired the last couple of years we were out there. And then we weren't out there last year, so who knows by now. But
is there going to be? Do they have a grizzly bear replacement?
They said that they had another bear that was going to replace Adam.
This new one's probably younger and a little more feisty.
Let's hope not.
But anyway, great crowd at Gallatin Speedway.
If you don't know, folks, what we're talking about, when you win at the Grizzly Nationals in Belgrade, Montana, which will be up there in about 3 weeks, a giant 10-foot grizzly bear comes out in Victory Lane and stands with you in Victory Lane as you accept your trophies and your celebrations. And you must stand next to the bear.
And the bear puts his paws up on the rear wheel.
And the bear also takes a piece of candy out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Would you do that, Kurt?
No.
No.
Who was that? Wayne Johnson? A couple years ago, went out there. He got scared about that bear. And I never thought Wayne Johnson would ever get scared.
Listen, Wayne Johnson might be pretty good at fighting Aaron Reitzel, but he was scared to death of Adam the Grizzly Bear.
Yeah, he didn't like that. Maybe that's the reason why he's going full Outlaws now. He's since gone the full outlaw tour. Because he was scared of the bear.
I love it every time they say, the oldest driver to ever win Rookie of the Year, Wayne Johnson. It's like, that's kind of funny.
He was Outlaws Rookie of the Year last year.
Isn't that crazy? 47 years old.
But anyway, it was a great crowd at Gallatin Speedway last night for the first of 2 nights for the ASCS Frontier region. Live on Racing Boys are going to be at the Black Hill Speedway near Billings tonight. Good broadcast last night. And good bunch of 360 wing sprint car racers last night as Cody Wormling came through with the feature victory out at Gallatin Speedway.
Man, we got a good night tonight, too, Kirk. We've got ASCS Elite Non-Wing action at I-30 Speedway. You can watch that on Racing Boys' new app. We also have ASCS Frontier region from Big Sky Speedway up in Billings, Montana. And we also have, I know for the people around here that don't want to travel and go the distance to Little Rock or Big Sky, I-35 Speedway is hosting the NWRA Sprints. The non-wing sprints will be racing at I-35 Speedway tonight. And we want you to go to the racetrack, folks. Please go to the racetrack and support the Johnsons up there and their venue. They do a great job with their place up there. But if you can't make it, then watch it on Racing Boys. But we always encourage you to go to the races first. Folks, if you go up there, you support them. They got big crowds on the nights that we're there. They're going to continue to let us come up there and do it. So please, go to the races if you can tonight. Only if you can't go, watch it on Racing Boys tonight. I-35 Speedway, the Midwest Non-Wing Racing Association is going to be racing up there tonight. Pretty good action. They're up there 4 or 5 times, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so. Last weekend was a great weekend. Bethany Speedway hosted the races last Saturday night where Wesley Smith picked up the win. I'm trying to reach out to him here this morning. He finished 4th out of Charleston, Illinois last night in the
old 12 cars rolling.
Power Eye War Series. Yeah. So
the Helm car
he looked good last Saturday night. He was fast.
The Helm car is looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So anyway, he was the big winner, and we're getting a lot of different winners on that USAC Midwest Wingless Racing Association this year. So a lot of different winners, and the competition's good. The car counts have been terrific. I think they had 26 cars up there last Saturday night. We were up at US 36 Raceway a week ago on Friday night. Had a pretty good show up there as well. So
hey, Kurt.
They're drawing good car counts, and crowds are turning out.
When is the deadline for the 30 days?
We launched the new platform on the 24th of May. Are we taking this to the end of June? I thought that's what we were going to do.
Well, we'll take it to the end of June. Folks, I'm telling you right now, it's the best time to sign up. We are matching Flo's prices. That's right. You can sign up for Racing Boys. You can sign up for the $29.99 a month, or you can sign up and get it for $150 for the year. That's the same price that Flo is giving out. And we should have somewhere around 200 events over the course of the year live on Racing Boys this year. So it's going to be somewhere around that number. Not sure exactly what that number is going to be. But $150 if you do it now. And the great thing about that is if you sign up now, then when it comes time to renew, you're grandfathered in for that $150. So take advantage of the savings, buy the $150 yearly membership, and you will be locked in from that point on for that $150 for the year. Instead of paying $29.99 a month, that's a savings of about $100. So to save you $100 if you sign up now for the $150 sign-up deal.
Be good value, and you can also watch it on the website as well, in addition to the apps.
Right.
We've got the apps available now, but if you don't have the apps, you can still watch it like you always have on raceboys.com.
We're trying to get everybody to move to the app, though.
Well, we'd like for you to purchase the subscription on the website, and then you can still watch it on your favorite app.
And Kirk, you're moving the people from the website over to the app, right?
To the new platform,
right,
would be the best way to put it.
Right, yeah, right. So if a person wants to go over there.
If you're an existing subscriber, all you got to do is put your email address and the username, reset your password, and you're good to go.
Good to go. Email address, reset password.
Right.
That's real simple.
That's it.
Put your email address in, reset your password, you're done. You can watch on the app.
Right.
All right, pretty good stuff.
It's going pretty well so far as new people
surprised.
subscribing, and it's going to be a lot better
in the
situation than our old way of doing things. I can tell you that right now. That there's no doubt about that. But a little bit of a transition period, getting everybody switched over, and we're offering a lot more content now than we did in the past, live content. So that's the value that you're going to get by being a new subscriber.
Kirk, did you watch The Dream?
I did.
Yeah. Brandon Overton.
I was a little bit confused. They had two dreams. They made up for the one they didn't have last year.
Right.
And I never found the full explanation of this, but I think I know. The dream number 27.
Hey. Anytime Kirk says he thinks he knows, we need to put a little
I can guess, but I never found a full explanation. Okay, they had two dreams, but they had Dream 27 on Wednesday and Thursday, and now Friday and Saturday they're making up the one from last year, Dream 26. And my only answer to that would be it has to do with ticketing. A lot of people purchased tickets to last year's Dream in advance.
Right.
And knowing that it was going to be a weekend event. So to cater to those ticket buyers who purchased thinking it was going to be on the weekend versus the new dream, that you want to make sure you service those people because they had planned on coming for the weekend. Now, the new dream 27, which has already had, the 2021 dream has already been held, Brandon Overton the winner. That was on Wednesday and Thursday night, that when they started selling tickets for that event, they told everybody up front before they sold any ticket that was going to be a Wednesday, Thursday event. So it's more to cater to the ticket buyers. So I was a little bit confused. Now, why would they run? Why would they run Dream 27 ahead of Dream 26?
I don't know. I don't know about anybody else, but after Kirk explained that to me, I think I'm more confused.
Yeah.
Are you more confused now, Todd, than before Kirk told you?
I'm just watching the highlights, what we're watching.
At first, I was trying to hang on to what he was saying, right? But as he went, all I could see was his lips moving.
I'm just saying they already had tickets sold.
Once I lost where he was at, it was nothing but just his lips moving.
All I'm saying is they already had tickets sold for last year's Dream.
I got
so you want to cater to those ticket buyers, knowing that they're thinking when they bought the tickets it was going to be on the weekend, versus the new Dream, which you're telling everybody up front that it's going to be a Wednesday or Thursday event. That's more to cater to the ticket buyers more than anything else. But Brandon Overton picked up $127,000 for winning the Dream on Thursday night, and then the one that pays tonight is $126,000.
How come Kyle Larson ran 13th?
Well, I just don't think he didn't have as good a starting spot and didn't do as well.
No,
as the other drivers.
Kirk, he started.
Didn't have as fast a race car as everybody else.
He started 6th, and he ran 13th.
I think he slipped out of the groove there one time. But last night, in the preliminary race, he was as far back.
I think he slipped up out of the groove one time.
This was a preliminary race last night that he ran, and for a while he ran 10th, and he was really the only guy passing anybody in that preliminary race and got as high as 5th at the end last night. So he was passing some cars and made his way up to 5th. So he ran better last night than he did on Thursday night. But we'll see how he is. He's going to be there tonight before he goes to the All-Star event.
How about our boy Ayrton Jennington running in the top 10 with the Outlaws?
That's a great run.
Good run.
Yeah.
Nina, your boy's looking good, Nina. He's really doing good.
Yeah, he was racing back there with Aaron Reitzel for that 9th spot, and Reitzel was able to get around him there for that
well,
position.
You see Reitzel coming, man. You got to take him serious.
But it was a good, solid 10th place run for Ayrton last night, I thought.
Yeah.
Carson Macedo had the big run last night in the Jason Johnson number 41 car as he passed Kerry Madsen in the late going of that race last night to pick up a big-time victory. He's going to look strong. But the guy that was really coming was Logan Schuart. He made a late charge there at the end, got past Madsen for the 2nd spot. And I think those two guys, you want to look towards the Nationals and who's going to be fast. Of course, we've seen Logan Schuart do well at Knoxville, and he made a big charge there a couple of years ago in the Nationals event, and has typically run pretty well on these big half-mile racetracks. So those are two guys right there outside of Brad Sweet and Donnie Schatz that could be real players when the Nationals roll around. So keep your eye on Carson Macedo in that 41 car and Logan Schuart.
Yeah. Well, Kirk, right now my mind is Knoxville, you're going to have to beat Young Money. But at the same time, my mind tells me that Brad Sweet is the guy to beat. So I'm confused. I don't know who I want to pick yet. It's either Brad Sweet or it's going to be Young Money.
I don't know if Young Money's going to be running the Knoxville Nationals.
I bet he does.
That's weekend of Indianapolis. They've got the road race at Indy that weekend. I don't know.
Surely, Mr. H is going to let him run the
I'm not sure
Nationals.
Young Money's running the Dream tonight at Eldora because, we got the All-Star race in Texas coming up tomorrow.
Well, I would think that he would. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But it's the biggest race of the year for sprint car racing. And listen, what did he do the last time that he ran real good at Knoxville? He went to Michigan the next day and won.
He did do that.
Right. So it's not going to affect him on the race.
He finished second to Donnie Schatz in 2017. Then the next afternoon at Michigan Speedway,
he won the race.
Yeah.
Right. So I
found it can be done.
Mr. H, let him race. That's what I say. What do you say, Kurt?
Well, as long as he's winning.
Well, we're fans. We want to watch him race, right?
You know what? When he was at Kansas Speedway here a few weeks back and should have won the race, and didn't do well on one restart there and got up into the wall and slipped back in the field. Since that time, he's not finished out of the top 2. Hear me again. Since Kansas Speedway on May 2nd,
it's crazy.
Kyle Larson has not finished out of the top 2.
Hey, Kurt.
In NASCAR Cup Series.
Kurt, remember at the start of the year what did I say he was going to win? 3 to 5 races, didn't I?
Well, he's already got 3.
Hold on. But what did you say is the most important thing? Never going to happen.
I thought he'd win a couple.
I said 3 to 5. You said 2.
Yeah.
Who's the winner, Kurt?
You are.
I'm the winner.
Well, he's about as dominant right now as anybody we've seen in a long time. I mean, he's had a chance to win.
Winning feels great, even behind a microphone.
And you talk about how dominant he was at Charlotte for the Coke 600. He backs that up on the road course at Sonoma last weekend and was every bit as dominant there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's incredible what he's doing right now. Of course, Hendrick Motorsports cars are really good right now because you got Chase Elliott and, the other drivers, Alex Bowman and William Byron also doing well. But Larson is in a class by himself right now.
Yeah, for sure. He just needs to be a little better in his late model.
He probably would have won that race at Coda had it not they called the rest of that race off.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows? Because he was leading a lot of that race.
Yeah. Hey,
in
folks,
the rain.
Don't forget tonight live on Racing Boys. If you want to watch some sprint car racing, you can watch the ASCS Elite Non-Wing action at I-30 Speedway. You can also watch our new region that we just started last night, right? It was first night that we ran up there in the Frontier region. It was last night, right?
Yep.
Tonight, they're at Big Sky Speedway, the ASCS Frontier region. Had a lot of people buy memberships up that way last night, so thank you very much for doing so. And then also here locally, it's NWRA Sprints at I-35 Speedway. Again, we wish that you would go up there and support Mike and Kyle Johnson and buy a ticket, watch the races in person. Only if you can't go, we'd appreciate it if you buy it on racingboys.com. That's only if you can't go. If you're a real race fan, you'll go to the racetrack. And that's what we always say. Go to the racetrack first. Use us as your backup option. That's what we hope for. Right, Kurt?
Yes. Always. Go to the racetrack.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about more results and what's going on around the Midwest and here locally on Track Talk. Brought to you by Luke.
Track Talk.
Building a pool is not a job for amateurs. If you want a pool you'll enjoy for a lifetime, call the pros at ProBuilt Pool and Patio. ProBuilt Pool and Patio is the largest provider of fiberglass pools in the region. Unlike liners, fiberglass pools from Imagine Pools and Pentair Pool Equipment are built to last, and they have over 200 different design options to fit your space. ProBuilt Pool and Patio offers competitive pricing, financing, and the fastest install timelines. Get a free quote by calling 816-786-3893 or go to ProBuiltPatio.com.
If you're thinking about making a career change, then listen to this. Sports Radio 810 has an opening on our sales team for someone who has a passion for selling. With the freedom to move around the city and unlimited control over your income, this is the perfect opportunity for a self-starter. Best candidates possess the energy and creativity to help area businesses grow and prosper. Media sales or sports industry sales experience is preferred. If you're interested in learning more, go to 810WHB.com and search for employment opportunities.
Family Leisure is finally having our summer sale. Lots of cold and rain before has led to great deals now. Come in now for the best deals of the year. Save hundreds, even thousands on Tropic Seas hot tubs, Leisure Select, Hanneman, and Jensen furniture. Locally owned and operated, shop Family Leisure for the best prices, best products, best selection. Family Leisure's summer sale happening now where family and fun come together at Family Leisure, K10 and Ridgeview in Olathe.
913-888-7727. Awesome!
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
As your power steering pump ages, seal leaks may occur, causing the power steering system to lose fluid. Your power steering system may also develop an annoying squeal, and the steering may become more difficult to handle. By using Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak, you will stop the seal leaks, reduce slack in rack and pinion, eliminate the squeals and hard spots in your power steering system. It is guaranteed to stop seal leaks or your money back. Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak. It works.
Track Talk.
Welcome back to Track Talk, brought to you by Lucas Oil Products. Folks, if you need an additive for your car, motor, transmission, they got all kinds of great products over at Lucas Oil Products. Find out more about them at lucasoilproducts.com. Made in America, that's the most important thing, sold to the world. So, lovely to have our friends at Lucas Oil Products back on board with us as the title sponsor of Track Talk right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB and RB in the Racing Boys Broadcasting Network. Kirk, what do you want to talk about first? Which race?
Indiana Midget Week going on right now.
Yeah.
Buddy Kofoid put it on him last night at Gas City I-69 Speedway and becomes the first repeat winner. They had 6 different winners in 6 races leading up to last night, but Buddy Kofoid changed all that. He'd had a couple of rough runs there ahead of that at Circle City Raceway at Indianapolis.
What was the
Wednesday
track like
night.
last night?
Looked like it was in great shape to me.
Did you watch it?
I did watch the A-Main.
I did watch a little bit of it. I was out last night. I took a weekend off this weekend, so I didn't get to see much of it. But Buddy Kofoid beat Emerson Axum and Logan Seavey to the line.
Yeah,
How about Logan Seavey? He started 11th.
Yeah, he had a great run. Of course, he was good last Saturday night at Lawrenceburg Speedway.
Mm-hmm.
So he was able to come back and have a pretty good finish last night. They had a situation there, and I never did see a replay of it right at the end of the race. We had a situation where there was a guy running for the second place position, and it was as I'm looking down through the feature results here, I see so many races last night that I forget exactly who I'm
Yeah, you were on the
to.
point last night. I wasn't.
But anyway, Buddy Kofoid was never headed last night after starting on the outside of the front row of last night.
He led every lap.
Yep, led it all the way. And he'd had a couple of problems from the previous 2 nights' race. Wednesday night, I was going to mention at Circle City Speedway, he was making a run up towards the top 5 and just spun it around. And you don't see him make a mistake like that. But he just, in turn number 3, he just got, trying to pull a slider and just spun it. So that cost him. Rare mistake for Buddy Kofoid then, but he was running behind on Thursday night at Putnamville at Lincoln Park Speedway, where Corey Day, young kid, I think he's, about 15 years old? He put it on him at the Lincoln Park Speedway on Thursday night. But Kofoid had it all together last night. Emerson Axum was able to take over the second spot ahead of Logan Seavey, but we had pretty good run last night. Tonight they'll wrap it up at Kokomo.
All right. Hey, did you see where Carson Macedo picked up the A-Main last week at Knoxville, beating Logan Schuhart and Kerry Manson?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that.
I need to get up to Knoxville. It looks like the first time I'm going to get a chance to go up there is during the 360 Nationals, really.
Coming up in August.
Yeah. Can't wait for that. Hey, people, you need to get your truck tickets, right? Let's talk about that a little bit, Kurt. People need to get their truck tickets for the truck race at Knoxville Raceway, right?
That is Friday night, July 9th, where the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series will be at the Knoxville Raceway. That's going to be a big weekend because that's also the weekend of the non-wing event that they've had at Knoxville here the last couple of years. That'll be on Saturday night. But Friday night is the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series event, And we've got a link on racingboys.com where you can purchase tickets to that event. And head on up. We put that link up on the website back Kansas Speedway weekend when Racing Boys was on the race car. Racing Boys Sports Radio 810 was on
the Cup car.
The Cup car. So we've had this
Justin Haley.
Right. The link on the website since that time, so that's where you can link up to purchase tickets for that big event coming
July
up. So July
9th,
Yep.
the Corn Belt 150 presents Premier Chevy Dealers NASCAR Camping World Truck Series at Knoxville Raceway. That's going to be a good one. I think they got tickets as little as $40 So get them now. Get them while they last. I got a feeling that show's going to sell out, folks. Do not wait till the last minute to get your tickets for Knoxville and the truck race. Again, the Corn Belt 150 presented by Premier Chevy Dealers NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. That's a mouthful. Knoxville Raceway, July 9th. Going to be a barn burner of a show. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge weekend when you add the non-wing sprints to the trucks that weekend. So definitely a weekend to plan to be in Knoxville on July 9th and 10th. And I was just thinking about the guy that had trouble there at the end was running second. It was talking about Jason McDougal. I couldn't spit his name out. I'm working on less sleep than you are, too, I think.
Well, I don't know how you
I couldn't think of it. But Jason McDougal was going to have a second-place finish last night at Gas City, and I don't know if he got caught up with another race car. We never saw a replay. Just at the end of the race, after they waved the checkered flag on Buddy Kofoid, we look back there, and there's McDougal with the whole front end tore off his race car. And he had second place locked up.
Man. You don't see that happen very often.
So I don't know what happened there. But anyway. We had some other non-wing races that went on last night. Old 71 Speedway down at Butler, Missouri had some non-wing sprints last night, and Cameron Key picks up the
They had non-wing sprints at Old 71 last night?
They did. Cameron Key the winner, Chad Freewald second, Casey Hicks, Chad Winfrey, and Brad Wyatt, your top five. I'm looking at some of the support classes down there last night.
I guess that was in case I overslept.
They had 3 USRA modifieds at Old 71 Speedway last night. 3.
So
Chase
hold on. Let me back up here a second, Kurt. So you're telling me they're running non-sanctioned, non-wing sprint cars down there?
Well, I don't know if that was just a special event that they had last night.
How many cars did they have?
They had 9 cars. 9. Of course, a lot of the non-wing sprint car guys were out in Charleston, Illinois last night for the Power Eye War Sprint Series. So a lot of the guys that you'll see at I-35 Speedway tonight were in Charleston, Illinois last night running the Power Eye War Series.
Let me just say this. There will be more than 9 cars at I-35 tonight.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I mean, they've been averaging.
Last week, we were at US 36, and oh, by the way, you can watch that video on demand on racingboys.tv. They had 26 cars last week. That was a pretty good show.
They've been
wasn't it,
averaging
Kurt?
25 or 30 race cars for each of those events.
That's a pretty good car count, 26 cars. Because you never know what you're going to get up there. And they had a pretty decent count for their 305s up there.
Right.
Would they have 14, 16, 18?
17, I believe.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty good show as well. So,
yeah.
Last night at Charleston, Illinois, they had 24 non-wing sprint cars for the Power Eye War Series, and Mario Klauser picks up the feature victory over Riley Kreisel, and Garrett Aitken finished in third. Mitch Wismiller and Xavier Doney rounds out the top 5 at Charleston, Illinois last night, and Wesley Smith finishes 6th. And as I said earlier, we're trying to put in a call to him after he won that race at Bethany last Saturday night. So
Lakeside got rained out last night, didn't they?
They did.
Mm-hmm.
And that big storm that hit Todd's house that was pretty close by Lakeside Speedway.
Listen, bud, you said that storm was pretty brutal over there by your place, over there by Piper and Lakeside Speedway, right?
Yeah,
Turn you up a little bit.
It just did. It came through so fast because we were all outside. We were watching it, but goodness gracious, the amount of water that came down at one time, and I think some of the insurance people were coming out. I heard this morning because the trees that we had trees that were just snapped in half compared to
really
some of the So we had a lot more damage as I drove through the neighborhoods on our way here. It was just our neighborhood and a neighborhood called Prairie Oaks, which is next to the Dubs Dreg Golf Course, which give you an idea, which is a straight line to Lakeside Speedway, obviously. But when Pete put the notification out about 1:30, hey, give us a couple hours, let us see what happens. And after came through, I was like, there's no way that we could, because the amount of water we got was it was in such a short time. That was the problem. So amount of water, crazy.
I saw people riding their bikes right before it stormed yesterday.
Yes, I did too.
I was.
You better be close to home, my friend.
Oh, you better get on the throttle. It wasn't going to be good for those folks, I can tell you that. Kirk, you ever rode a motorcycle?
One time in my life.
What happened to you? Did you get hurt?
I rode it about 100 feet and
crashed.
Stopped. No, I made it off.
Did it throw you off, or did you fall off?
I just stopped.
You just stopped?
Yeah. I can't even remember whose motorcycle it was.
Were you scared? Yes. Say it, Kurt. Yes.
Yeah, a little bit.
Have you rode a horse before?
You ever rode a horse? I
have ridden a horse.
And which one was scarier?
Riding the motorcycle. I can't even remember whose motorcycle it was either.
You know,
I just remember riding it for just a little bit, but probably 100 yards maybe. That was it.
Deidre and I are getting ready to leave for the Pacific Northwest, Kirk.
Yes, you are.
Next week, folks, we will be in Grays Harbor, Washington, and we will be bringing you all the live action from Grays Harbor Raceway. Can't wait. A little bit different this year. Normally when we go up to the Pacific Northwest, we typically start at Skagit Speedway and then work our way north to Elma. But this year, we're going to Elma first, and then we're going to go down to Skagit, which I think kind of works out for us. I do know of a few teams that are thinking about running down to California and running, and they want me to go down there with them, Kirk, but I'm not sure I'm going to spend the money to go. It's about a 1,000-mile drive down to California for a 2-day show down there. I think several of the guys are going to go down there and try. I know Blake Hahn's planning on going. He asked me to go down there with him. But I'm not sure I want to drive all the way down there and then drive all the way back up to Montana. That'd be about 2,000 miles extra traveling.
Ooh, that's a long way.
It's a long ways.
Grays Harbor is a Saturday-Sunday event.
Yeah, that's a first, isn't it?
So your first night will be a week
Saturday.
from tonight.
Yeah.
And then night 2 is Sunday.
So people ask, why am I leaving?
Father's Day.
Why am I leaving so early? Next Sunday is Father's Day?
Yes.
It is. I will not be home on Father's Day.
You'll be at Grays Harbor Speedway.
I'll be at Grays Harbor. But anyway, long story short is, that's a great place. Bert does a good job with that joint up there. I'm looking forward to getting up there and seeing him. Matter of fact, we should try to get a hold of Bert. Maybe we could do that in the second hour. Talk about what's going to go on up there next weekend at Grays Harbor. Try to get some people up there to watch that race. So maybe we'll do that in the second hour. We're going to take a break right now. When we come back, it's time to talk a little bit about the new Tulsa Speedway in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's right. It's the third Tulsa Speedway, but it might be the nicest one to date. Tim Cunningham joins us next right here on Track Talk.
Track Talk.
Next to your vehicle's engine, your transmission is the most important component of your car. If it's not properly maintained, your car may not shift properly. By adding Lucas Transmission Fix to your transmission, it cleans and lubricates sticking valves for proper shifting, renews worn bands to stop slipping, stops seal leaks, will not void new car warranties, contains no harmful solvents. Lucas Transmission Fix. It works.
Another season of frigid temperatures is finally behind us. But with the good comes some bad, because another winter in the books means another year of wear and tear on your roof. Greg Gurley here. Wouldn't it be nice to sleep well knowing you can trust the roof over your head? You can with the company I trust, Buck Roofing. Buck Roofing has fixed the roof over my mom's head and thousands of KC homeowners and commercial buildings. Jayhawks, Wildcats, and Tigers all agree that Buck Roofing is simply the best in Kansas City. Ron and his team are experts in residential, commercial roofing, and they can do your gutters too. Don't just take my word for it. Check their rating with Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. Buck Roofing will do only the work that needs to be done, and you can trust that you are getting a fair bid. Put this number in your phone now, 913-384-2680. That's 913-384-2680, or online at ourbuckroofing.com. And sleep well knowing Buck Roofing fixed the roof over your head.
Bring your dogs with you to Legends Field Sunday night for Bark at the Park night at the Monarchs. The Monarchs will be hosting wiener dog races throughout the game. Kids 10 and under eat free. Gates open at noon, first pitch at 1. And the homestand continues next week with 6 more games at Legends Field. Season tickets or group packages are available by calling 913-328-5618. Get your tickets today at monarchsbaseball.com.
At Menards, save big money on your next project with 11% off everything. General Purpose Concrete Mix is great for sidewalks, steps, patios, and setting posts. Simply add water, mix, and pour. Starting today, all bags of concrete are 11% off. Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Good through June 12th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey, it's Grunny. Every Thursday night at 6, Crunch Time Primetime is on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Me and my buddy Frank Bowe will bring you all the latest Chief news all season long. You know that I'm a big believer in CBD, so with a little bit of help from our presenting sponsor, American Shaman, we'll tell you a little bit about the latest products and their benefits. And if you want to try any of their great products, you can stop into any of the American Shaman stores for free samples. That's Crunch Time Primetime, Thursday nights, WHB.
Track Talk.
Sometimes I grow so tired. But I know about one thing I got to do.
All right, welcome back to Track Talk. Hey, Blake, I want you to look up some Rival Sons for me. Bump music, Rival Sons.
I got it.
If you can find it, you might not.
I'll look right now.
All right, buddy. Welcome back, Track Talk, brought to you by Lucas Oil Products, made in America, sold to the world. We want to welcome everybody that's watching us online on Facebook, Twitter, and RacingBoys.com. I'm Scott Traylor. He's Kirk Elliott. We are the Racing Boys. And joining us now on the show is a new friend of the Racing Boys, and we are so excited about getting down to the new Tulsa Speedway. Tim Cunningham joins us now. Tim, how you doing, bud?
Good morning. How are you?
Well, we're doing real good, and I know you guys are so excited about getting open. I think next week's the first week, really, isn't it?
Yeah, we're going to test Thursday night. Weather permitting, we're going to test Thursday night 5 to 11. That way, everybody can get a feel for the track, and then we're going to open up our season. Finally, open up our season with ASCS Friday night, and pit gates at 4 and spectator gates at 5.
Well, you're an ASCS country down there, and it only makes sense to start off with those guys. Talk about the challenges and everything that's been going on. I know you personally have been down there working hard on this racetrack. Take us through the whole process, and how challenging was it to open up a new racetrack this time?
Well, this land here has been a hard challenge in itself, just because of the topsoil, the black gumbo, the water table being so high. We've had some drainage issues that we've had to address. We've had to put field tile in the infield, some French drains. And then every time that we start getting a good grasp on things and getting it rolling, this year it seems like it's either snowed, iced, or rained.
Right.
So that's been a tackle, up until this past week. We received about 12 inches of rain in a matter of about 6 days. And that really slowed us down on trying to finish this thing up.
Yeah. What what has been the response? You know, somebody told me this is the fourth Tulsa Speedway. You told me it's the third. Is it the third or the fourth?
Well, from what I understand, it's the third. They had the one at the fairgrounds, and they had the one out on 66 North, and then this one should be the third location. Now, before the one at the fairgrounds, I don't know about, or nobody around here said anything about one previous to that.
I don't know if that was a fact or not, so I'm just throwing that out there. But the good news is that we have a Tulsa Speedway, and you guys are going to carry on the tradition there at the new Tulsa Speedway. Just talk about your plans for that racetrack this year.
Well, this year we just want to get our feet wet, get the fans good and settled in. The drivers accustomed to this track. It's a high bank. It's a little bigger than a quarter. It's a big quarter. It's actually 3/10 right in the center of the track all the way around. Long straightaways, tight corners, but like I said, it's 14.5 degrees of banking in the corners here. And, I want to make sure that everybody understands, we're going to improve this place as much as we can every year to, just to accommodate our great fans in this area, the drivers that have reached out and been more than supportive with ideas and things that we can improve upon as we go. We just want to make it a family-friendly place for everybody to come and have a good time on a Friday night and enjoy themselves at the racetrack.
Yeah. Well, I know that we're looking forward to it with the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour. We're down there on July 30th, I believe it is, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's going to be a barn burner of a show. But talk about some of the other classes and some of the other divisions. Are you going to run some OCRS, now 600 stuff there as well?
We're going to run some OCRS, now 600. We're going to run our weekly series, Friday Night Lights series. Will be the Champ 305 sprints. We're going to flip-flop some A-Mod and B-Mod stuff until I get a grasp on how much support we're going to get from either one of those classes.
Right.
And, I've told the mod guys, hey, if both classes support it, I'm not against running both classes on the same night. I wanted to kind of stay away from running them together.
Right.
But if we don't have one or, enough of one or the other, then we're going to have to make that decision from a business standpoint.
Right.
But factory stocks will be every week during our Friday Night Lights, mini stocks and junior minis. And then we're going to run some of the dwarf for the junior minis. We're going to flip-flop them with some dwarf cars as well.
Yeah. It's kind of tough on the modified deal right now because it seems like the price of A-Mods has gone up so much that the car counts for the A-Mods is starting to slip a little bit, and the B-Mods, they're starting to gain. And now you see some people even going with E-Mods, right? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the future holds for A-Mods, if you want to know the truth.
Well, it seems like they have a big following for the traveling series.
Yeah, USMTS, USRA, something like that. Yeah.
And but yeah, as far as a weekly program, it's getting harder for some of these guys. A lot of people don't realize some of these guys work 9 to 5 or 8 to 5 or even 7 to 5 jobs, and they spend every last dime that they can spare on a race car. And as time has evolved, these cars, they can't just go out and build a car for a couple $1,000 anymore like they did, 30 years ago.
Yeah, those days are long gone.
Oh yes.
I remember when IMCA Modifieds came out of the state of Iowa for the first time. The first racetrack they ever raced at outside of the state of Iowa was Riverside Stadium here in Kansas City, Missouri. And those cars at the time, if I'm not mistaken, a whole car claim. Wasn't it a whole car claim at the time, Kurt? Or was it just the engine claim?
Yep. IMC and UMP both had a car claim there for the longest time. UMP had a motor claim and a car claim, and then I actually witnessed one night at Paducah in Kentucky, where I'm from. And, a couple farmer boys got lucky and finished in the top 3 and claimed one of the points leaders' cars, and from then on they ran up front. So
$300 engine claim.
Yeah, $300
engine.
$325 engine claim. I think Bobby Lane lost a lot of them.
What I hear, 33 engines in 1 year.
I claimed one engine one time. And me and this guy are like really good friends now. John O'Neill Jr., I claimed his motor. He was just killing us at Lakeside and I-70 on pavement back in those days, and I claimed him. I'll say it now, J.L. Cooper put me up to it.
I think when Bobby Lane got all of his engines claimed, he gave every one of them up. Sold every
but
one of them.
I will say this. Biggest regret I ever had racing was claiming John O'Neill Jr.
Yeah, but you're still good friends. Yeah. You're still good friends. It's all good.
Yeah, but that was 20 years ago. So we've gotten over it by now.
Where is this track located in Tulsa?
We're right off of 169, 36th Street North. We're at 3101 North Garnett Road. We're right next to the Tulsa Raceway Park drag strip.
Okay.
The properties actually adjoin each other. We're owned by the same ownership, but it's two separate entities here on the same property. We're trying to create somewhere where the people from not only around Tulsa, but in eastern Oklahoma, southern Kansas, northern Texas can come and, if they want to spend a weekend here, they've got Friday night at the dirt track, and Saturday night we've usually got some sort of event going on at the drag strip as well.
Well, that's tremendous. A great motorsports facility right there. Easy to get to right off 169. You mentioned Black Gumbo Dirt's got great dirt there. It sounds like.
Well, I'm just talking about the pits and the spectator parking around the track. No, we dug the track after we made the banking. I come in and we got our banking to where I kind of wanted it. We took 2 foot out of that banking and brought 2 foot of clay in and packed it in with clay. The track surface itself is about 85% clay.
Oh wow, good.
So it's a really good base right now to build off of going forward in the upcoming years.
Yeah.
But it seems to be coming in good. I've had some good advice from the Hans. They've kind of led me in the right direction as far as clay around Oklahoma, because I'm from Kentucky and Tennessee, and over there we just river bottom mud is most of our tracks.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me tell you, anytime you can take some advice from the Hans, that's not a bad thing. I
was told when I moved out here that Emmett was a very big asset, and anytime that man talks, my ears are open.
You need to listen. That's right.
How much did the COVID set you back?
Better yet, better yet, Tim, when Fuzzy talks, you better listen.
Yeah, I've learned that with them. When she speaks, they're all listening.
That's right, buddy. We know who the real boss is over there at the Hans.
How much did the COVID and the pandemic set you back in the time frame getting this thing open?
On our side, it was kind of hard to get. Some of our laborers was kind of hard to get.
Yep.
Towards the end of last year, it picked up some a little bit right before the cold broke. But then economy and the free money, and I hate to preach politics, but the free money has really hurt getting employees.
Mm-hmm.
My track staff has been doing this for years. It was kind of pretty much all of the old OCRS crew has come on board to staff this place for me, and so that wasn't hurt me. It's just the everyday things, the people you need to weed eat, to help mow, to pick up, to all the little things that people don't see during the week. Just labor.
Yeah.
It's hard to find right now.
Yeah, no doubt. And because, again, people are getting these stimulus checks and these unemployment checks, and it pays them more to stay home than it does to work, and that's why they're doing it. Yeah.
That's the unfortunate consequence of it, yes.
Yeah, okay. All right, buddy. Well, Tim, thanks so much for being on the show with us, man. We're excited about New Tulsa Speedway. I know we're going to be down there with the Lucas Oil ASCS National Sprint Car Tour on July 30th. We'll also be racing with the ASCS Sooner region as well. That should be a barn burner of a night. And I think that's during our speed week, if I'm not mistaken, too. So that's going to be a grind. We are looking forward to it. And, Tim, can't wait to meet you when I get down there. Congratulations on the track, and can't wait to get there.
We appreciate it, guys. We'll see y'all soon.
Okay. Thank you, Tim.
Great location.
Ken Cunningham from the new Tulsa Speedway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
cool.
where it's at.
Yeah.
Right off 169, not too far from the airport.
Yeah. Right by the drag strip. All right, Kirk,
easy to get to.
let's remind everybody what we got going on tonight with our broadcast.
We got 3 live broadcasts going on tonight. We got the USAC Midwest Wingless Racing Association sprint cars at I-35 Speedway. We have the Elite Non-Wing Series at I-30 Speedway in Little Rock, Hammer Hill. And we have the ASCS Frontier Region at Big Sky Speedway near Billings, Montana.
I was pretty surprised on how many people purchased from up there in Montana and South Dakota area.
Yeah. New subscribers. Had one from Canada
How about that?
tune in last night.
Wow. Now, what are you going to watch tonight, Kirk? What
We'll watch them all 3 of those
Are
at
you?
the same time. Plus, we've got the Dream at Eldora. We've got Knoxville going on tonight. We've got the final night of Indiana Midget Week at Kokomo. A lot of things happening tonight to keep track of.
And then tomorrow, Deidre and I are going to get in the old truck, and we're going to head our way towards the Pacific Northwest. We're going to ease our way up
You
there.
decide to leave tomorrow.
We're going to leave tomorrow. We might spend one extra day in Deadwood. See, we're going to make it to Sturgis tomorrow, and then maybe we're going to spend Monday and go down to Deadwood and do a little R&R before, and then head on out from there.
Yeah, take your time. The mountainous regions that you got to go through to get there.
Probably take off from Sturgis on Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah,
and then head
That's
that
quite
way.
3 minutes out there, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, it's 1,900 miles. Originally, we were going to take the motorhome, you know, but our old motorhome has got a lot of miles on it. You know, it's got about 180,000 miles on it. In fact, it has so many miles on it. I had it out at Greg Spillman's place the other day, getting some work done to it out in Grain Valley. They do a good job out there working on our stuff. And he said, you know, I noticed the miles on that thing. What's it got, 180,000 miles on it? I said, yeah. He goes, I've never seen one with that many miles on it before.
And your reaction when you heard that was, maybe I better keep this at home for this trip.
No, you know, I just thought that, you know, why take the life out of it, driving it all the way to the Pacific
You
Northwest?
got that Speed Week coming up. You got a lot of
Speed
things.
Week. You got Knoxville. You got the Jesse Hockett Daniel McMillan Memorial. You know, you got those 10 races in 11 days during the Speed Week. I need it back here more than I need it out there. It's not worth trying to take out there to save $2,000 or $3,000 because it could cost me $10,000.
So you were able to book some rooms? You found some hotels?
Oh yeah, we're going back to the old Tulip up by Skagit, and then yeah, we found a room over there in Elma. Rooms are not cheap up there in the Northwest.
No, they're not cheap anywhere right now.
Well, we you know, we were really lucky for so many years to have a great deal with Marriott. We don't have that deal now. Boy, do we miss it. But, yeah, it's all good. I don't mind going. I love going up there. You know what I love about the Pacific Northwest more than anything is the people that we meet when we go up there. You know, we get to see Barry Martinez and Robin and a lot of people that we only get to see once a year, and they take us out
90.
boating, and we go out, boat trips, float trips, you know, during the week.
It's been 2 years since you've been out there because you didn't go at all last year.
I know it. But you know what? It's a great time because we race and work on the weekends, and then during the week, we get to go boating and do all kinds of cool stuff. A lot of fun.
After I retire and I don't have any responsibilities back here, maybe I'll just make a trip out there just to be a fan. I'll just be a fan. Pay my way in. Not even going to ask for a free pass in. I'll just be a fan.
Kirk's got his wings out, and he's making his final approach to retirement. There you go.
Then you will see me
Blake,
out on the
you're
road
the
traveling
man.
around. You will see me out traveling to go to more
You
races.
can play them anytime. This is my favorite band right here. Seriously.
I dig them. I was listening to some of it while you guys were talking. They're good.
Oh, they're really good. Their lead singer and drummer are fantastic. So
Rival Sons?
But a lot of people thought they were trying to rip off Led Zeppelin. All right, hour number 2 coming up. You can watch it on our Facebook page. You can watch it on our Twitter account, and you can watch it on RacingBoys.com. We want to thank Tim Cunningham for joining us. Hour number 2, we're going to have Lee Spencer. We'll talk dirt racing and NASCAR racing with her. Also, big shout out, Wayne Campbell, a big member of the local racing community, passed away this week. We'll talk about him and more a little bit in hour number 2. Wayne, good guy. We're going to miss him. How much time we got there, Blake?
Wrap whenever you're ready, baby.
All right. We'll see you. Hour number 2 coming up.
Thanks, Blake. Appreciate it.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertising.
That was killer, guys.
Mike DiPasquale. I played linebacker. I won a state championship.
I'm definitely about to look this band up even more. They might become my favorite. I love their sound.
The winning attitude starts with confidence. My law firm is so confident in what we do that if we take your injury case and we don't win, I don't pay us a dime. So if you've been hurt, call me. My team wants to win for you. I've got this.
Mike's got
Hell
this.
yeah, will do.
I appreciate it. Have a good week.
Y'all have a good one.
Thanks, bro.
Mike's got this.
You're into your shows, right? Well, then listen up. With Xfinity X1, you get live TV.
One of the main reasons for poor vehicle performance is a dirty fuel system. It can cause decreased fuel economy and actually do harm to your engine over time. By adding Lucas Fuel Treatment to your vehicle, it cleans and lubricates the entire fuel system, pump, carburetors, fuel injectors, and valves as you drive. It also improves your vehicle's performance. It's a non-solvent product designed to protect both gasoline and diesel engines. Lucas Fuel Treatment. It works.
Rod End Supply is involved with a variety of motorsports as well as industrial applications with many different types of products. Since 1989, Rod End Supply has provided superior products priced competitively. Whether you're racing at the circle track or drag strip, rock climbing, or going off-road, Rod End Supply has an assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products to keep your equipment moving. Rod End Supply's experienced staff is ready and willing to help you with your needs. Their promise is to continue to provide a superior product with superior service so you can stay in front of the field no matter what it is. To learn more, go to rodendsupply.com.
Zurich Specialty Sportswear in-house. We do all of the screen printing, all the embroidery. We do some vinyl. The other add specialty items like your pens, magnets, notepads, calendars. You can actually buy that, build your business to make it larger. We have the largest screen printing process and the largest embroidery anywhere around in the area. We can do stuff all the way from your school clubs to sports teams, a professional look in the office. If you can imagine it, we can do it for you.
There is less than 1/100th of an inch of motor oil protecting your car's engine. Friction and heat causes engine oil to experience thermal breakdown, weakening its ability to protect the engine and its parts. Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer is specially formulated to resist thermal breakdown, protect vital engine parts, and extend the life of your engine. It also stops smoking, knocking, and oil consumption in worn engines. Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer. Keep that engine alive.
Alumatech Products is the premier aluminum cabinet company as well as custom aluminum trailer manufacturer. They specialize in custom cabinetry and production units. All the cabinets are built in-house by exceptional craftsmen. Alumatech Products also offer truck caps that are built from the ground up, starting with a framework all the way to a complete build. The folks at Alumatech are driven to produce quality, long-lasting products through innovative design to best suit you. For more information, go to alumatechproducts.com.
Missouri's must play getaway. Osage National Golf Resort.
3 9-hole courses to choose from at the Lake of the Ozarks in the Osage River Valley. Stay and play packages in our first-class condos. A beautiful clubhouse complete with pro shop and exercise facilities. A large pool for relaxation and families. The Eagle View Sports Bar and Grill. Great wedding facilities. Go online and make your tee time today.
Race fans, the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum is open 7 days a week, year-round, for you to come in and check out all of the wonderful race cars on display in the museum. And our online store at sprintcarstuff.com is open 24 hours a day for you to check out everything that we have in stock for sprint car fans. Whether it's for a birthday, anniversary, or Christmas, sprintcarstuff.com has it all. That's at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville.
We not only look to the future, we design it. Our excellence and professionalism in craftsmanship, quality, and safety is unmatched in the industry. We are proud suppliers to some of the most elite race teams in the world. We build it, you drive it. We are here to help you win.
Next to your vehicle's engine, your transmission is the most important component of your car. If it's not properly maintained, your car may not shift properly. By adding Lucas Transmission Fix to your transmission, it cleans and lubricates sticking valves for proper shifting, renews worn bands to stop slipping, stops seal leaks, will not void new car warranties, contains no harmful solvents. Lucas Transmission Fix. It works.
Hey, this is Larry the Cable Guy, and you're listening to Racing Boys, and if you ain't listening to them, you get out of the country because you're a communist. I love the Racing Boys. Like Mater says, they make me happier than a tornado in a trailer park. You know, the funny thing about that is the Larry voice and the Mater voice are exactly the same. Get her done!
Welcome to Hour 2 of Track Talk on the Racing Boys Broadcasting Network. Brought to you by Lucas Oil Products. Made in America, sold to the world. Here again are the Racing Boys, Scott Traylor and Kirk Elliott.
Welcome back. Hour number... Hey, Todd. It's a little jumpy over there. Welcome back. Hour number 2, Track Talk, my favorite hour of the show. You know why? Because it's a no BS hour. No BS, Kirk. Here's one for you, buddy.
Maybe will that help me bring my memory back? What you're drinking there? What is that stuff?
Take a little sip of it.
Is that 5 Hour Energy?
No. Just a little sip. Just a little bit. Just a little pull.
That's not good for my blood pressure medication.
It's just like a cup of coffee. Just a little bit.
Wow. Tastes pretty good. I mean, it's got not a bad taste to it.
Well, it's berry. It's berry flavor.
Not sure that's good for me.
Well, Kirk, it would be bad for you if you took this whole bottle and you went...
Yeah, is that what you do?
No.
No. You take blood pressure medication, too.
I do, but don't I, D? I only drink about that much at a time.
I wished I had taken a sip of that at the beginning of
I'll give it to Deidre. I say, Dee, you want a little pull off this? And that thing would be down to here. Well, thanks, babe, for leaving me some. Huh? But me, personally, I never drink more than that much at once.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. You know, if I had taken a sip of that before hour 1, maybe I wouldn't have had the brain fade.
Did you take a sip of it? Did you take a sip?
I took a little sip of it. Maybe that might have helped me.
You think a little sip will affect Kirk Elliott? If he gets really chatty here real quick.
No, I don't think so. But I wouldn't have had the brain fade. I was trying to recall Jason McDougall's name last night when he finished. He was going to finish second in that midget race at Gas City last night, and we looked up, and his car was sitting with the front axle off of it, and I was reading the report on that, and I didn't know this because we didn't see a replay of it. The front axle snapped on his race car while running second last night, and he stopped on the back straightaway. So he would have had second place. He got out
McDougall?
Not happy, to say the least, because he would have had a great finish out of that. Wouldn't have won, but that second place finish all went away, and he ended up 15th.
Kurt. Nobody ran over the axle. It just broke?
Just broke. Said it snapped. Like I say, we didn't see a replay of it at all last night. We just looked up after the checkered flag, and McDougal's car was stopped on the back straightaway with the front axle off of it.
I got you.
So, anyway, I was struggling to remember who that was.
What is that
second play? And I couldn't remember. It was Jason McDougal.
Deidre, what's that new medicine that they have out now that we see on TV? Prevision?
Memory mammoth?
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them work. Some of them are, I think, are
scams.
Yeah. There's one that, I mean, they're all
There's
just
one that's on TV that they advertise a lot.
Yeah, my wife's taking one.
I'm thinking about taking one.
My wife just started taking one.
She did?
Uh-huh.
Tell her ask her which one I need to take.
It's the one that has the lady.
Listen, whatever your wife tells me, I'll do.
What's the lady from that's doing the commercial from? She's the lady on the Big Bang Theory. Nariva, is that what?
Nariva?
I'll find the one she's on.
Yeah, I need it. I need some. I'm slipping a little bit. Deidre is starting to make fun of me, and I don't like it. If she doesn't quit making fun of me.
Yeah, but this morning
I'm
more forgetful than you this morning.
No, you're not. No. Hey, listen, folks. Again, I want to give a shout out about Wayne Campbell, the passing of Wayne Campbell. Did you know Wayne?
I did not.
Wayne Campbell was a fixture on the local racing scene, and in fact, when Mike Trent won his championships back in the day in the Winged Outlaw Warriors, Wayne Campbell was his crew chief, and he helped Mike Trent quite a bit. And Scotty Cook told me the stories of him running up and down the road with Wayne Campbell and his cousin Mike. So, and I met Wayne and when he worked over there at Bob Morton Enterprise. He was doing valve jobs, whatnot, doing different machine work over there for Bob. Had a lot of long conversations with him. Very outspoken guy. Very, I'll tell you what's on my mind kind of guy. I love those kind of guys. So unfortunately, Wayne, who was born in 1948, passed away at the age of 72, is no longer with us. He went into the hospital a couple weeks ago. Thought he had some here, Kirk. Listen to this. This is how scary this shit is, right? He went in thinking he'd hurt his back, and they'd found cancer in his back and all over his body.
Oh my God!
He only lasted 2 weeks after they found it.
Oh boy!
How does that happen?
Only God knows.
So that's a tough one. Wayne Campbell passing away. Not a very good week, really. I lost my cousin, Wayne Campbell, now. You know, I know it's kind of funny to talk about, but some of our older listeners out there can understand this. But, Kirk, I don't know about you, but when I hit 60, it was like, man, the clock's ticking.
Wait till you turn 65 and you're on Medicare like I just enrolled in. Wait till that number comes up for you.
I wish I was on Medicare.
Healthcare would be a lot cheaper for you.
It would be a lot cheaper if I was. I'm 4 years away from that.
No kidding.
I think we
What
have.
was that?
I think we have.
What
Lee.
was that? No kidding. Did
that
you
was
play that?
That was Lee, actually. But
It was Lee.
But we don't have her video, so I'm wondering we might Lee's camera may not be working this morning. So
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll check it. Before
we do have Lee on.
We have Wayne Campbell. His celebration of life is going to be tomorrow, beginning at 2:00 at the Sedalia Shrine Club in Sedalia, Missouri. 2:00. There will be a barbecue dinner. Please come hungry, Wayne.
He's
and
got
the
a
family
Facebook
would
page.
ask that you bring all your stories and laughter to share as they celebrate Wayne's life and leave the tears at home. This is a celebration of life. Dress code is casual. Wayne would not want it any other way. That's tomorrow at 2 at the Sedalia Shrine Club.
Todd, if you go to his Facebook page, there's a picture of him on there. Yeah, good old boy, big boy, and long hair, kind of hippie-looking dude, man. Just kind of cool cat. Man.
Now that I see his picture, I do remember.
Do you remember Wayne?
Yep, I do.
Sure.
I do.
That's what, anytime, that's what everybody says. Oh, no, yeah, I remember that, dude.
I remember Wayne.
Soon as they see that picture, they go, oh, yep, that's him. Yeah, I remember that guy. So, anyway, long story short is Wayne's passing, a real sprint car ambassador. I think he still had some old cars and some motors still. I don't know. I'm not for sure, but anyway, it's sad to hear the passing of Wayne Campbell happen so quickly, and that's the sad part about it. All right, well, let's bring in our sister, Lee Spencer. How you doing, Lee?
I'm super. How are you guys?
I don't see you, Lee.
Well, Lee, it's that time of year to when we get to leave and go out of town for about 6 weeks. So, a little anxiety trying to get everything ready. As you know, there's a lot of preparation when you got to leave for that long and make sure you got everything and your medicines and all this and that and everything that goes with being out of town for a long stretch, as I'm sure you've done before, right?
Absolutely. I mean, just for a week, it's amazing, just the things you have to look out for. But you figure after a few decades of doing this, you probably have it all figured out.
Well, we do. I mean, there's a system, but there's nobody imagine this. Everybody listening out here that knows Scotty Cook. Nothing spins out Scotty Cook more than packing his bags to go out of town.
Why?
Because he's just...
Must be all that hair product.
You know what? I think what it is he's just got a little OCD and he's just afraid that he's going to forget something. I don't know anybody, Lee, not one person do I know that loses more stuff, but he never loses it.
He lost his car keys at Knoxville one time.
He always finds his stuff. And I always tell him this. I can't find whatever. Don't worry, buddy. You'll find it. Sure enough, 5 minutes later, he finds it.
You're the same way. You lose stuff, too, that you find later. You misplace
things. A lot of stuff I lose never comes back. I think Deidre's taking it.
Reed and I have taken 2 trips in the last month, and each time I've had to buy him a new phone cord a phone cord charger because he's left them at the house.
I think I left my electric razor in Bulls Gap, Tennessee, Kurt. Can't find it anywhere.
And, I was sitting here
brand new one, too.
You mentioned Reed losing his phone charger. I was sitting here last night trying to monitor 2 broadcasts. My cell phone is critical when this stuff's going on. And I was running out of juice, and I looked in my bag for my second phone cord. It wasn't there. I didn't have a spare phone cord to charge up my phone. So if something happened on the live broadcast, what? You got an extra one here somewhere?
No iPhone.
It's like life support. You cannot leave the house without the phone. Charger cord.
So I thought I had one in the truck. I thought I had one in my bag. It wasn't there.
At the very least, you got to have a backup battery.
Yeah.
Well, and then I need a charger for my Fitbit too. So it's like, we can share, but it's a lot easier because if we have 2, then you can always have one in the rental car too.
Yeah. What's the good news there?
What is the good news?
If you're a member of the Kyle Larson fan club, it's all good news right now, right?
I would say so. It was, and he had quite the party going out and at his home track too. They had quite the entourage on pit road afterwards, and I saw Mrs. Larson and then she and her buddies. They were all having a good time. It felt like a dirt track. You know how everybody parties together after a race?
Yeah.
There was no rush to catch the airplane kind of deal, which that, it was almost like old school. So that was really nice. And, it was good to be back and into the garage and seeing people that you haven't seen in a while because NASCAR's just started opening up. It's a lot different than the dirt world. So I think they're full blown gone now. And I don't bother with the All-Star race unless it's at home and I can drive to it, but we'll be at Nashville when Cup Series makes their debut next week. And I think by the time we get to Nashville, it'll be wide open. I don't expect a lot of the national media to be at Texas this weekend, but I think, next weekend and NBC's coming back next weekend. So that'll be huge. We're going to an event at the Ryman on Thursday night. Kyle Petty is debuting his new series on Netflix, and he's one of the best interviewers in the business, so that should be spectacular. So it's things are starting to click back in the NASCAR series, but on the dirt side, it doesn't seem like they've lost a beat. So that's it's an interesting dynamic between the two right now.
Since we talked here about 5 weeks ago about Kyle Larson not pulling off the deal, closing the deal at Kansas Speedway, and
right.
we complained that maybe he ought to quit doing this dirt race, spend more time. He kind of, I didn't say he fell out of the seat, but he certainly didn't close the deal at Kansas Speedway. Since that time, Kyle Larson has not finished out of the top 2. I mean, think about that for a minute. He's not finished out of the top 2 since Kansas Speedway on May 2nd.
It's pretty. I mean, everything's clicking for him. It's like the light switch went off, and he's just he's doing exceptionally well. He's starting on the pole for the All-Star race tomorrow night. So that should be interesting, and Nashville should be right in his wheelhouse. I don't see him slowing down, and. You think about a Kyle and Kyle front row and all the years that I can remember some of the battles they had at Michigan or California Speedway, and you would see them go after it. You just knew with the kind of equipment Kyle Busch was going to have, it was going to be lights out. And now it's like, you just really see how much better Kyle Larson is in great equipment. And, some people never get that opportunity.
Right.
And he's making the most of it right now. And, some people don't deserve the opportunity, but how many people have gone over there and been that fourth car and you're like, okay, keep the seat warm for now because, when the next hot thing comes along, you're going to be replaced. And, now that he's over there, it's like you've got the other 3 looking at each other saying, okay, which one of us really, who's it used to, I mean, back in the day, you think about Ken Schrader was always like the third wheel over there, right?
Right.
Casey Mears, third wheel. Casey Kane, third wheel. Jerry Nadeau, third wheel. I mean, most of the guys that were in that third or fourth car, they were good for about 1 win a year. And every year was like, okay, is he going to be back next year? And if somebody better came along, then the answer was no. But it's, now you've got the other 3 drivers saying, okay, what do we have to do? And I think that's really made it an interesting dynamic over at Hendrick Motorsports.
Is Chase Elliott the A driver or Kyle Larson?
Well, Chase is a defending champion, but I will, we could sit here all day and argue about raw talent. I think when it comes to raw talent, there's no comparing Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson. There just isn't. And I'm sure Chase will pick it up, as far as the dirt goes, because he's new to dirt and racing on dirt. And, you got to give him credit for going out there and just, testing the waters. But I think when it just comes to sheer raw talent, Chase is always going to have the fan vote because of his father, right?
Right.
But when it comes to just raw talent, I think Kyle Larson has over him.
Eventually, Kyle Larson has to become the A driver if he just continues to crank out the wins and Chase can't keep up in the win department. Wouldn't that eventually make Kyle Larson catapult himself over Chase Elliott and make him the A driver eventually, don't you think?
I do, but one thing I will say, I don't think that the sanctioning body will ever give Larson the breaks that they give to Chase Elliott.
Right. Because of the heritage.
We saw that in the playoffs last year. There were questionable things that, it's their playground. It's their sandbox. They make the rules for the playground and the sandbox. And we're just all there.
Is that Lee? Is that more because of the heritage than anything?
No, it's because he sells T-shirts, and the guy that the guy that is whoever the most popular driver is. I mean, it's kind of like the home team gets the breaks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to be that guy because he's the one that the fans are clamoring around. But I mean, I think the more Larson wins, he's going to start picking up the fan base. And not only that, I think NASCAR's smart enough to realize that there's a lot of crossover traffic of race fans because Kyle Larson comes from the dirt world.
Hey, I think Kyle Larson's already picking up the fan base. You look at the reaction he had at Charlotte when he won that race and some of the fan reaction that he's starting to get right now. He is picking up a lot of fans as we speak.
Well, there's no doubt about that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there is no doubt about it, but I don't have to tell you that when you go down to Speed Weeks, yeah, there's a lot of crossover. People come over from Volusia or Bubba or New Smyrna and go to the big track. And, there's a ton of crossover, but it's, I think Joey Logano said it best. Nobody cheered him when he was introduced at Volusia, when he ran the late model race, right? And then when he finished on the podium, the temperature of the room changed. And dirt fans, you can be Mr. Popular all day long. You can have a name, you can be, like Little Hod. I mean, one of the Kinser heirs. I mean, go down the list. Bobby Allen's son and grandson. I mean, you just, you look at the generations of drivers that have come along and, that next generation, and sure, they're going to have the fan base, but if they're not winning, it doesn't mean jack. And,
right.
Because the dirt fans, they support winners, and they can smell a wannabe a mile away.
Right.
And if Larson's winning and then bringing that fan base with him, it's night and day.
Hey, it was at the All-Star event here a few years ago, and I remember making a comment to you. I don't know how many years ago it's been, but it was at the All-Star event when Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott were really beginning to really step forward and make a name for themselves. I saw a budding rivalry right there. Those two guys put on a whale of a show in that open race, try to get qualified for the
I think that's
for the big
future.
show.
Yeah.
Okay, the competition level, they're on the same team now. How's that going to work over the long haul? Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson, there's the competition within the team right now. How's the dynamic changed now that they're on the same team? Because I think they're still rivals.
I think they are too, because, show me a racer who doesn't want to win, and I'll show you someone who's not a racer, right? And that's, he's Chase isn't there to pick up a check. He's there to pick up trophies. I mean, no doubt, if he's not getting paid for something, he's not going to do it. But I think at the end of the day, the trophies are what matter, and every driver, they know that to be successful, you've got to win. And if they're not winning, then, that's when the rivalry really starts picking up. But I don't know. I think that I'm sure the equipment's pretty damn close, and this is the best Hendrick has been in 3 years. And go ahead.
No, I was going to say that, Lee, I think there's more parity in NASCAR now than there maybe has been in the last 15 years. I mean, you sit here and you look at the drivers, Kyle Larson, Mark Martin, Alex Bowman, Chase Elliott, William Byron, Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, Christopher Bell. Those are your top 10 guys. They all have wins.
You said Mark Martin?
Did I say? I didn't say Mark Martin, did I?
You meant somebody else, right?
Well, who did I say? I didn't say Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Ryan Blaney. I didn't say Mark Martin.
I thought I heard you say Mark Martin.
I think you're hearing things.
Okay.
Get out the Prevagen.
Right. Need to break that out. Anyway, and then Christopher Bell, who's 10th. Now, granted, I could say Michael McDowell. He's got to win. But really, those guys in the top 10, don't you think any one of those guys could almost win on any given week? And there's more parity amongst the top 10 than maybe we've seen in a while, just because the talent pool, aside from Larson, the talent pool is pretty equal.
Oh, I think the talent pool is pretty equal. Bowman, when he got his second win, and he credited the pit crew for getting him out, first and putting him in that position.
Yeah.
The pit crews all make a difference, and Harvick's had a really good pit crew, and even with the pit crew, they're still not as competitive as they need to be. But it's like you said, you could pretty much throw a blanket over these guys, and they're all pretty close, and they could all pretty much win on any given weekend. But I will never, in all the years that I've been doing this and covering other sports, once you get momentum on your side, that's really hard to stop, and that's what Kyle has right now.
So what is
I
didn't mean to interrupt. What has Hendrick found? What have they found? Because they found something that nobody else has got
they
right
found
now.
Horsepower, and where they have found horsepower, what the Fords were getting away with as far as, in the wheel wells and the aero there, after last year, we thought the OSS was going to be the end all, right, for inspection, and we wouldn't have to have 1,001 different templates, but the OSS missed a very critical place where the Fords were getting an advantage behind the wheel wells. And so now, this year they came out with new wheel wells, and the 550 package for the Fords isn't anywhere close to as good as the Chevys and the Toyotas. And that being said, the combination of the two Chevy programs between ECR and Hendrick has bumped up the Hendrick horsepower, probably 7 to 10 more horsepower than what they had last year. And you throw that all together, and it's, winning combination. Then you put somebody like Kyle Larson, who, all he wants to do is win. Kyle Larson, between having a good time and winning races, that's about, the extent to what makes him happy, right? Good time, winning races. I mean, it's pretty banal, but it's it's quite basic, but that's what makes him happy, and he's doing all of that right now. And the party doesn't end over for the Larsons, and so life is good. And I mean, you guys know that when I asked Rick Hendrick, who does he remind you of? Well, he said he reminds me of Tim Richmond. And if he wants to go out there and have that kind of lifestyle and win races, I think one of the reasons Rick, Tim Richmond was a legend in a lot of people's mind, because
in my mind, he is.
Everybody wanted to have the good looks, wanted to have, women on both arms. I mean, wanted to, just have that playboy kind of lifestyle, ride the motorcycle, just be the Mac Daddy of everything. And, Larson, with the exception of having the two kids in tow and a wife, he's living that dream right now, right? And so that's, it's, you just kind of get that feeling that it's kind of resurrected fun again at Hendrick Motorsports. And if they can all have fun, then life is good, because I can tell you, back when I got into the sport in the 90s, they were having fun at Hendrick Motorsports. And I mean, for a while there, Ray Evernham could be a little probably too serious, but people around him, people in the organization, they were having fun. And I think they're all having fun again.
Interesting. Well, it's going to be fun to watch Kyle as he runs through his career. I say this. He will not be a NASCAR driver his entire career. He'll
oh, hell no.
He'll do something else. For sure. I say he retires from NASCAR in his 30s after he gets enough money. Maybe does IndyCar. Maybe he does Formula One. I don't know. But I see him doing something in that department before it's all said and done. That way he can be compared to the greats of A.J. Foyt, Mario Andretti, kind of get in that category.
I don't see him doing Formula One, because I think Formula One now, if you don't get in your 20s, you're not getting in. I mean, Formula One is a young man's game, and it's not something you go back to unless you've already been there, like, Kimi or, one of the.
How about Gene Haas, putting him in there just to see what he could do?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, Gene can do whatever Gene's got FU money and do whatever he wants to do. Right.
Right.
He can go and hire Kurt Busch and put a thorn in Tony's side if he feels like it that day.
Right.
But it's I don't know. I'd be shocked. If Jeff Gordon couldn't make that transition at his age when he had won 4 championships, I don't see it happening for Larson. Never say never. I'm just,
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
There's
Sure.
more things that go into it than that, right? There's also a laundry list of kids waiting to get those opportunities, and the kind of money they bring and the kind of money the factory brings. It's
I'd almost bet money that Kyle Larson, if the word got out that he's interested in Formula One, that he can round up the money.
Well, we'll see.
Maybe.
We're still trying to get sponsorship on the 5-car, right?
Right. I guess so.
just came on
Maybe.
board and-
You know what? He might not be accepted around the world as he is back home right now either.
You just don't know.
You don't know.
You just
Let
don't
me ask you about this. CBS. It doesn't
Yes.
expect to bid on the NASCAR TV rights, but it looks like they're all in on this SRX stuff.
Right.
What the heck's going on? You think that's pissing off NASCAR a little bit?
I just don't know, because there's enough people doing crossover on that I am happy to see Alan Bestwick back. I will say that.
Yeah, Alan's good.
I'm not surprised Matty Yoakum's over there, since he and Smoke are buds.
Buds, yeah.
So that doesn't surprise me either. And it's we'll probably have it on we might have it on one of the screens tonight. If I hate to give up a screen to with the dirt between you.
We got a lot to watch tonight, don't we?
Yeah, there's a ton to watch.
Hey, I was gonna just wrap up about Kyle Larson. Did you see him run that late model race last night?
I just saw the very end of that, because we were watching USAC, and that was just USAC was just wrapping up as that race was coming to a conclusion.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that USAC race, but Kyle Larson was running 10th for quite a while last night in that preliminary race at Eldora. And
right.
he looked like the only guy passing anybody there at the end. He worked his way up into the top 5 by the time that thing was over with.
Wow.
And he was putting on a show, but there was nobody else passing anybody in that race except for Kyle Larson.
Passing anybody on Thursday either, which is, because I kept waiting for Jonathan Davenport to make a move, and he never did.
Right.
So I don't know if it was the track or what. The other thing, and maybe is there still some sort of percentage of people that can go to Knoxville? Because I was kind of surprised at the crowd at Knoxville.
It wasn't great, was it, last night? Now, well, tonight will be a whole lot better. It's a Saturday night racetrack,
right?
But yeah, they took a shot of the grandstand last night at Knoxville. It didn't look.
Kirk said it looked kind of bare.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked myself.
On the backstretch, and I was absolutely shocked, because usually when the Outlaws come to town, it's packed. And I understand, during the pandemic, they had restrictions, and I didn't know what was going on. I do know that anybody who wants to go to the Knoxville truck race, there are plenty of seats, and I would encourage people. We'll be there. We're going to drive down from Road America to Knoxville for the truck race. So we're really looking forward to that. And
we got the link on racingboys.com to purchase your tickets, so do so right now. Link on racingboys.com.
I think seeing the trucks make their debut at Knoxville, that is such an iconic track. And I think since they're used to doing that, it will not be you won't have I'll put it this way, you won't have the challenges you did at Bristol with the trucks, right?
Right.
And Eldora was always a hell of a show. I think you have a big track like Knoxville, and I really think that's going to be a kick-ass event. And if you don't have your tickets, I would say jump on that, because to see the trucks make
Donnie Schatz and Brian Brown are going to be in that race.
You know why that track's going to be good, because they've got
tell me.
because they've got some of the best track guys in the country, and they know their dirt, and they know their racetrack, and they know how to make it happen.
The Duncan family.
They are the best.
Yep.
I mean, if you're a dirt fan and you don't want to see Donnie Scott's NASCAR debut, then, shame on you.
Mm-hmm.
No, it'd be interesting to see Brian Brown in that race, too.
Yeah, I think Chase Briscoe, I tweeted about that. Chase Briscoe is going to do he's going to go there and then go to Atlanta for Cup. But I think that's going to be must-see TV right there, or skip the TV and actually make the trek to Iowa. I know I've talked to a lot of race fans that want to go, and so I'm looking forward to hopefully running into a lot of the NASCAR and dirt fans at Knoxville that weekend.
What are your thoughts about Carson Macedo? He put it on him last night. Logan Schuchart really had a great finish there, didn't he?
Who knew Carson was a screamer?
He's a pretty confident guy right now.
That coming, but man, he was yelling, and I don't think he could have held Jax any tighter. I mean, he wanted Jax to be in that moment with him, and that was so cool. Because Jax is like a little fireball anyway,
right?
And
he's motocross racing now. Did you see that? He's running motocross now.
Oh, that's fabulous. But
yeah.
Carson, I think, yeah, Carson's won 3 times this year.
Is it 3? I'll look that up.
But what I was going to say is, I think him winning at Knoxville last night is going to be the ultimate game changer for Carson Macedo. And the reason I say that is because he had such a look of relief, like he had arrived after winning that race last night.
Yeah.
And the confidence that he's bringing into tonight and then coming back for the Knoxville Nationals. And, that to me, we were talking to a different Carson Macedo last night after that race. Wasn't that the impression you got? That he was brimming with confidence. The fact that he could win at that track was just, he was like a different guy after that race. And so I just felt like that win and the scream that he let out and the scream that the team let out, they're all on one page. And the fact that Gravel was nowhere to be found, as well as Gravel won last year, he was nowhere to be found last night. Donnie was trying to keep up with his teammate. Donnie looked really strong at the start, but then, Macedo and Logan came up. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say Carson Macedo has 4 wins.
That was number 4.
So he's currently 3rd in the points, 92 points out of the lead. Brad Sweet is your current point leader. 2nd in points is David Gravel. He's 58 points out. The only other driver within 100 points of Brad Sweet is Carson Macedo, 3rd, 92 out.
I mean, I think last night was, the light switch going off for Carson Macedo, and I really think that we're going to see he's going to be a different driver from here on out. I mean, I just think he has, like I said, he's got a confidence right now that I don't think he had. I mean, I think he felt pretty beat down after last year.
He's going to be a player at the Nationals. There's no doubt about that.
Let me ask you this. Should have they kept him in the car? Remember when they put him in the car up at the Nationals after Jason's
right
dad,
after
right?
that, yes.
And remember how the crowd responded?
And he did great up there.
And he did good. But remember how the crowd responded to him, too, driving the 41 car? Do you think the right decision not to carry on with him, who'd they put in?
Gravel.
It was Gravel. Do you think they should have stayed with Macedo instead of going with Gravel? I know they had great success with David Gravel. And maybe the reason they're having success right now with Carson Macedo is because Gravel set the foundation a little bit more over there for him. I don't know. What do you think?
From what my people tell me, Macedo's grandfather pays the bills, so I would think that, he's the one that's kind of charting the course for his grandson. And so, they might have thought that they were going to do better with Kyle Larson's group last year. And before that whole deal went by the wayside. So,
Hold on, let me stop you right there. Do you think the reason they thought the Larson deal was going to be better because there was going to be more marketing opportunities, and because he's
could be, and just because there's a bigger spotlight there, and so
right.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, there could have been, it might have been, had everything not blown up in March, it could have been a completely different operation. Things, who knows? I mean, you'd have to go back or either that or, have a time machine and see what would have happened if Kyle Larson did not, utter the word he did in iRacing, and if his deal still goes forward, what have you. But, then again, you wouldn't have seen Kyle Larson dominate dirt, which, takes me, if we could jump ship over to USAC for a while, not having Kyle Larson there for Indiana Midget Weeks is, I mean, Kofoid last night, that's the first time you've had a two-time winner since, Midget Week started in Indiana. And that's usually you had one person dominate. You've had all kinds of different people show up. And I was really shocked to see Tanner get the win the other night because Tanner has not been competitive in the Rhine Bowl equipment. He did get hard charger last night from coming, from the rear of the field. But I was so shocked that he won that race because they've really, really struggled with that equipment. But, it's been the racing has not been close in midgets. You've had one guy get hooked up and take off and, just kind of run away with it. And I know you guys were mentioning now you're God is
see that I started talking about the midgets. I have brain fade like I had with Jason McDougal. Yeah. I couldn't spit it out last night, but apparently he had a busted axle while running second, and that
right. He was looking at podium finish and broke down on the backstretch. But I mean, it has not been the same cast of characters up front every night. Something's happened. It's been really, really weird. When last year, Tanner, Wyndham, and Larson were kind of like the three guys. Just keep an eye on, night after night after night. And I guess Sunshine was in there too. But, it's a whole different animal this year and all these different winners. And, it's kind of been a young man's midget week.
Yeah, talking about young man, 15-year-old Corey Day at Circle City Raceway the other night. Man, he came out of nowhere.
He did, and I mean, I saw a lot of the Twitter chatter with, between people, and I thought it was kind of cute what was going on, with Tim Clausen and Dom Scelzi. I thought that was kind of funny, but he certainly wasn't on my radar. I mean, I wasn't at I wasn't at the event before the Chili Bowl was he racing in that this past year?
I think so, but I'm not sure about that.
You guys were there. What was the deal before Chili Bowl at the expo?
The Tulsa Shootout?
Yes. Was he there?
I can't recall.
I don't remember.
So I mean, if
I've had a couple concussions,
and he's not on your radar, then that tells me that he's, this kid came out of nowhere in California, and even though maybe he was on people who really scout that series, but I mean, if he wasn't on your radar at the Tulsa Shootout, then that was, a pretty good upset.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, he started second that night. He just ran away with it. I mean, nobody had anything for him.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. This is, it was really competitive last year where you had the cream of the crop and the veterans kicking butt. We're not seeing that. We're seeing a whole new generation emerge. And, Tanner's usually good for a win. And, like I said, I don't think the Rhine Bowl equipment is all that. And Tanner is so hands-on that I'm kind of surprised that he's not able to do more with what he has to work with. But,
Emerson Axum has been on our radar. I mean, he's won at the Tulsa Shootout and whatever.
I think Scott Petrie is finally starting, he's got a couple of really hot shoes with Axum, kind of the young side of it, and then KTJ. And so I think that's really worked out well for him. But it's nice to see Scott getting some success because he's the one, and I think you guys remember, we were sitting there and I'm like, hey, Scott wants to get this young kid named Emerson Axum on the show. Can we get him, at Chili Bowl a couple years back? And so it's good to see, Emerson start. And he had success in Powerade too. So
Axum is always towards the front. His name is always floating up there near the front at all times, it seems like.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, Racing Boys kind of introduced him to the midget world back at Chili Bowl. And it's good to see him, starting to get some consistency and build on that.
Yep. Lee, what do you got coming up on Racing Boys?
Working on a John Hunter Nemechek story. You guys saw where Joe Gibbs Racing picked him up to run some Xfinity races later this year. And I've got to say, if I'm the three drivers over at Joe Gibbs Racing in the Xfinity program, Brandon Jones, who's been over there for a while, Harrison Burton, who, looked like a deer in the headlights when I asked him about Ty Gibbs coming up the pike, because if you think you're going to leapfrog over the grandson of Joe Gibbs to get a cup ride, yeah, exactly. And then Daniel Hemrick, who pretty much, mortgaged the farm to get that seat, very much in a similar way to Ryan Preece. That's now you're bringing John Hunter over there. And the one thing that drivers say, and, drivers who are trying to get up to speed, or drivers at the beginning of their career, when they run in Cup and then go back to trucks or go back to Xfinity, they say things slow down for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like you're playing speed chess, right? When you're in the Cup Series and then you go back to Scholastic chess.
Right, no doubt.
And so the board slows down for you, right? That, you see things because you are playing speed chess that you might not, the things that you're looking for, the tendencies, all of that slows down. So we've seen John Hunter excel to such a degree in the Truck Series, and I think he's going to have the same success in the Joe Gibbs Racing equipment that Ty has enjoyed and Kyle has enjoyed when they go there. And I think it really puts pressure on those three drivers to get their act together, because clearly, if you can't win in the Xfinity Series and Joe Gibbs Racing equipment, you probably need to find another job.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me tell you something. This world that we're in right now, it might not matter. Like you say, Ty Gibbs, he's coming up. And nobody's going to be able to stop him. Somebody's going to lose a ride right there. I love this story that you've got up on Racing Boys right now about Ryan Newman, still chasing the championship, and he feels like he can still get it done, doesn't he?
I mean, he does. And Reed and I had this conversation the other day. In the years that I've been doing this, and of course, I've never had your experience of sitting behind the wheel and doing this, but I've seen two things that have really been deal killers for drivers, and one are the over intellectual types like Ryan Newman, like Carl Edwards, that are so damn smart that they overthink behind the wheel. It's kind of, you talk about B students advancing and having success because they're not overanalyzing and overthinking everything. And I think that's, the older that he got and as smart as Ryan is, I think that's kind of been part of the problem. I mean, now he certainly doesn't have the equipment, although Chris Buescher, he's outrunning him. But I think that's been one of the things for Newman is he could put down the perfect qualifying lap. But I think, throughout the course of a race, at times he's overthought it. That being said, he came so close the first year of the chase in 2014 to winning the championship, but just finished half a second behind Kevin Harvick. And I don't think NASCAR wanted a champion who had not won a race. I mean, you saw the stink that it caused. Well, not just stink, it changed the whole dynamic of the way that we view the NASCAR championship, because after Matt Kenseth won one measly race, and went on and won the 2003 championship. In 2004, they came up with this whole, playoff format. Well, it wasn't playoff at the time; it was the chase. But and Kurt Busch went and won that. But they didn't want a winless driver winning the championship. And that was Newman's best shot that he's ever had, and the best finish he ever had. But I think you put Newman behind the wheel, and he wants to win, and he still wants to win a championship. And he also said he wants to run the BC 39 in August. So I think he's happy to be back.
Yeah.
Back to his roots.
He don't want to quit anytime soon.
Let me ask you something, Lee. Maybe you got a little insight on this. And I'm hearing a little back room rumors that Roger Penske doesn't really want to run the BC 39. Have you heard that before?
I've heard the same thing, but I mean, I think once everything's done, it's once he gets.
Why? Hold on. Why doesn't he want to run it? Why doesn't he want to run it?
I'd have to ask him. I mean, and I'm sure he'd give me a
elite non-wing victory and
a decent answer. But I just think that his whole thing's the Indy 500. And after that everything's secondary. He wants to get this Indy Cup weekend out of the way. Roger's been there for the whole thing. Roger's been there for
ever
for the. He has, and I mean, he goes and he buys the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and the first year he's got it, the pandemic happens, right? I mean, he couldn't have asked for a worse situation. So he just got through the biggest event of the year and just got through bringing crowds back, and so he's through that. And the next big event is going to be, the second weekend in August, when they have the doubleheader with Cup and Indy cars. And that's going to be the first time that they pulled that off. So he's gone from seeing NASCAR really have, if you talk to insiders who have covered the sport a long time, there are rumors to the effect that, NASCAR infiltrated, IndyCar back in the days and put the bug in Tony George's ear that he could run his own series, and that kind of split up IndyCar and CART. And I mean, if you hear that's like the old wives' tales. And I would have to really talk to people that would give me background, and I just never delved there. But that being said, now you're coming full circle and putting all these guys back together, right? IndyCar, NASCAR, and you're seeing more Americans in IndyCar now, which kind of changes the dynamic. And it goes back to, if you can get dirt and NASCAR together, you can get IndyCar and NASCAR together. If we're all working together for one big happy motorsports in America, which I don't think, last year during the pandemic, motorsports was the biggest, most successful sport to continue on. And NASCAR did a great job of keeping going. World of Outlaws kept going. I mean, the fact that we had as much racing as we did, and it gave so many people something to do and something to watch and some reason to be entertained. I think, motorsports hit it out of the park last year. Of all the sports, I think that we always had some reason to be entertained. And so now we get that out of the way after that weekend is over, and then you have the BC 39. I do know one thing for certain, and I'm sure you guys have seen it as well. Doug Bowles, who, is in charge of running the racetrack, he's at every dirt track. He's been like at almost every Indiana dirt track this week for Midget Week, right? And he has a day job, and that just shows you what type of an enthusiast he is. So if you guys could get Doug Bowles on, I would ask him, what are the challenges, since, Roger's attention is really on IndyCar and the Indy 500, and sustaining this race going forward, because I love the event. I was there for the first one. I mean, I thought it was spectacular. I was there for the second one.
Chili Bowl like.
It really is. And that might be the only opportunity. You think about how many of these kids grow up in Indiana with a dream of racing one day at 16th and Georgetown. And to get the opportunity in a midget, that might be the only time they ever get that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't maintain the grassroots of this sport, there will be no IndyCar, there will be no NASCAR. And so, it is imperative that we keep a strong presence and continue to support events like the BC39, because it's you're right. It's like a mini Chili Bowl. It's like, they need that.
Brady Bacon won that first one. Always remember that.
Yep, for sure. All right, Lee. Thank you so much. We love you. We'll talk to you a little bit later, okay?
And one other thing before I leave.
Yes.
I know I have to laugh at this because you guys were just going and we didn't even get to the good little nuggets that I usually get to put out there.
Okay. Well, let's shoot them out there.
Well, we were talking about, we didn't even get into, you were talking about Newman, and another reason Newman's up in the news is the simple fact that we don't know what Newman's doing next year, right? Because, all indications are that Brad Keselowski will be a team owner over there, and he'll be driving the 6 car. So,
right.
Newman said that he had gotten, they had sent him a letter regarding it, and he really hadn't had time to go through it before he was on the press conference. So that's kind of, that angle. But, all indications are also pointing to Kurt Busch going to the 2nd car at 2311. And I've been told if that happens, then Zane Smith, who is currently 6th in the truck points right now, will end up going to Chip Ganassi Racing in the 1 car.
Oh, wow.
So that's, another little nugget. Probably the other curious little deal is that there may be, Kurt, if indeed he is the one that gets the nod over there, they're going to need a charter for him. And if that is, if the rumors that we're hearing are correct, you may see a 2-car operation fall by the wayside in Cup with the final charter that team has ending up over at 2311. And until we get more information on that, I'll just kind of keep my cards close to the vest of who that might be.
It wouldn't be the team owners of the 77 car that would be getting rid of a charter, would it? No. Okay, because I know that they have control like 3 or 4 different charters.
Oh, the goofy one is Rick Ware Racing. I mean, Rick Ware has 4 charters, and you're like,
why?
This is all coming down to supply and demand. And if you guys ever have a chance to go back and listen to some of the conversations that his last name's Marks. I'm trying to think of his first name.
Justin Marks.
Yeah, that he's having with Moody on his race show. He's got a lot of opinions as far as the charter system goes, and I don't think he's got a charter right now for Suarez, but and I don't think he's willing to pay the kind of money it takes to have a charter. But
he's got one charter that he rents from Spire, right?
I don't know. I think he was going charter free this year, but I could be wrong on that.
Didn't we had him on the show, and he's got a Spire charter, I believe.
Yep, that's where he got it.
Okay.
Hey, how certain is this Brad Keselowski going over to Roush and become a owner over there? How likely is that to happen?
Is it done?
I would bet my house on it. How's that?
All right.
Enough.
That's a pretty sure bet.
Yeah. Well, that's a great...
When will we hear the announcement?
What a great opportunity, though, really.
Yeah. When will the announcement be made?
I'm maybe Michigan. If I was going to make the announcement, I'd make it at Michigan because it's Jack and Brad's home turf.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, that would just be me. I mean, I can't think of a bigger, I can't think of a place where it would make more sense to do it than Michigan.
So would Brad take over Jack's role?
I I don't think any of Jack's heirs have shown interest in owning or running an operation, especially since neither one of them live in North Carolina. And Jackie Jr., I mean, I don't know, he might still be running sports cars, but I don't know that he's doing that anymore. And they have young kids, and, Jack's up there in age, and I don't know how much longer he wants to go back and forth to North Carolina from Michigan. So I think this is the perfect opportunity. And, if we're seeing a wave of younger owners, I mean, we've all been talking about the grain of NASCAR and how soon it was going to take for the turnover. And you're seeing it. You're seeing it with, Justin, coming in, with Jeff Gordon taking a bigger role at Hendrick Motorsports,
Right.
Brad, Denny, Joey Logano said if the right thing came along, he'd want to do it. Not sure who's going to take, I don't think Coy Gibbs wants to do Joe's deal, but I think at some point he's going to have to, because if he wants to keep the Gibbs name on there. But
you think Denny Hamlin is ticked off that they're bringing in Brad for this, and it wasn't offered to Brad to take over the team? You think there's a rub there a little bit?
What do you mean?
What's that again?
Brad Keselowski.
Right.
At Roush.
What about him? Oh, you mean that he was offered that deal?
Yeah. I mean, Denny Hamlin, maybe if he wasn't offered the same deal, do you think there's a little rub there?
No, because I think Denny just likes being independent. I also think Toyota knew they needed a second operation. They've brought up so many kids lately, and they've got no place to put them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's another situation.
They had to expand.
Yeah, they needed a place to put all these drivers, and they also know that you go into the Daytona 500 or Talladega or wherever. You can't have the kind of game plan that they did initially, where they were all tandem drafting, or they were all, putting the 5 cars together. I mean, once Furniture Row went away, then it was like, okay, it's just the 4 of us. And yeah, Denny's been lucky enough to pull off the wins with the Daytona 500 with just the 3 or 4 teammates. But, going forward, you're going to need more than that. And if you don't have testing and you don't have practice, you better have a test car out there. You better have test teams that you're working with. If it's not, if you want, Hendrick is like the perfect situation right now, because, they have 4 cars. Well, who do you expect to be the driver that's out there testing and trying things out when they're all trying to win races and they're all capable of it? You better have an alliance with another team that's running your R&D stuff, since there's no testing and there's no practice.
Yeah, hey, the other thing I'm going to take a look at this All-Star race tomorrow night, I heard Eddie Gossage interviewed yesterday. This is his last weekend at Texas Motor Speedway. 25 years he was there.
Crazy.
The track was built. He's retiring. But when he said, you can count on something special happening, well, I don't know if have something with him or not, or is he just blowing smoke, but I'll be tuned in to see what that's all about. He's been the consummate promoter, isn't he? He has a way. He's kind of like old Humpy Wheeler. Got a way to make you want to tune in. What is Eddie Gossage going to do?
Of Humpy's, I mean, Humpy was the guy. I mean, Humpy was the end all be all, and there was nobody ever better than Humpy. And Humpy trained a lot of people who went on to run racetracks, and Eddie was one of them. Eddie thought out of the box for a lot of years at Texas, but he blamed the drivers for not being as cooperative and getting the gospel of NASCAR out there. And I don't think it's fair just to put it on the drivers. You have to have that relationship with the drivers if you're going to expect that. Mm-hmm. And it's I think after a while you have to reinvent the wheel, because the same way of trying to sell NASCAR to the general public isn't going to work the way that it always has, because there's too many ways. There's too much entertainment out there right now. And if you couldn't pull it off during the pandemic, then it's, because it was the only game in town, then, I'm not sure where you take it from here. But, I was there when they broke ground at Texas Motor Speedway. They flew us all out there on a chartered plane as part of the media tour. So I've watched the whole thing, and it was a grand environment when they first built it. It was the first first racetrack that they built that had not only condos but a fitness center inside of it. I mean, it was really a place to behold. You guys have been there for the dirt races, so you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
And
yeah,
they had their first big individual broadcasting area because they knew the importance of TV and radio.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like they also had a theater. He built a theater for where you would have the drivers meetings and such, so when you went and went to press conferences, it wasn't just your typical press conference. You were in a theater setting for it, which was also really cool. So, and they also brought, the flavors of the area. They would bring in Babe's Fried Chicken. They would bring in Hard Eight Barbecue. They would bring in the local ice cream, frozen custard place. I mean, they were always thinking outside the box. But I think when Eddie had his breakup with Mike Zizzo, Zizzo was like the next generation of guys that promoted things. After the two of them kind of split, it just lost its luster.
All right, Lee. Well, we're at the top of the hour, so we're going to have to let you go. We appreciate everything you do for us and all the great stories that are up on Racing Boys. Check it out now. You can get on there and read anything that Lee has put up there for, gosh, Lee, how many years you been with us now?
I don't know. I'm losing count.
It's been a long time, but
I'm like Kirk in the Prevagen.
Right. So 20 years. After 20 years, Championship Quest still drives Ryan Newman. Team Penske and other Fords scramble to catch Hendrick Motorsports. Kyle Busch believes recruiting brother Kirk for 2011 racing would enhance Toyota camp. There's a lot more than that on there, folks. It's all because of Lee Spencer. Thank you, Lee. Appreciate you.
Take care, guys. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Lee.
Thanks, Lee. All right, Kirk, let's before we get out of here.
Big day at Texas today, too, by the way. They got the truck set about noon and the Xfinity race about 3 o'clock. And then
you going to watch it all?
Yeah, we'll have it on. And tomorrow is it's a later start for the All-Star race. I don't think that starts, it's like an evening event for the All-Star. That's kind of weird to have that on a Sunday. Normally we've seen the All-Star, first of all, there's a couple of reasons why it's weird. It's not at Charlotte. It was at Bristol last year, but I think moving it around is probably a good idea for this All-Star race. I think it's Texas this weekend, and it's going to be on a Sunday evening. Got the Open and then the All-Star race. So
yeah.
See how it goes.
Hey, don't forget tonight also, live on Racing Boys, you can watch the ASCS Elite Non-Wing action from I-30 Speedway, Hammer
Hill. I love that place.
Hammer Hill down at Little Rock, Arkansas. Tracy Clay's track. She does it as well as anybody down there. Also tonight, for our second night, Frontier action, ASCS Frontier action at Big Sky Speedway in Billings, Montana.
You've been there. How big a track is that?
Oh, it's a pretty good sized track. Yeah. Nice place. Hope to get back up there someday soon. And also tonight, a track here locally, the Midwest Non-Wing Racing Association is going to be racing up at I-35 Speedway. So go up and check out the MWRA Sprints, Non-Wing Sprints, I-35 Speedway tonight. It's live on Racing Boys. And we thank the people that have been buying all of our apps. Thank you, everybody. You've been so nice to Kirk and I over all these years. We couldn't thank you enough. And again, right now, don't forget the specials that we've got going on right now. $150 for the year. That's $100 savings. $150. The same price as Flow. And we should have somewhere around 200 races for the year. We got Now 600, OCRS, ASCS Regional Action, ASCS National Tour Action, United Rebel Sprint Car Series, audio. We've got it all going on Racing Boys. So if you'd like to listen to any of that kind of ASCS stuff, Rebel Series, Now 600, OCRS, we're right here, Racing Boys, the home of all those broadcasts.
I just wanted to mention congratulations to my nephew, Dennis Elliott, who won at Central Missouri Speedway last
Picked up the
Saturday
$1,000, huh?
second win of the year down there. So congratulations to him. And they're back at it tonight. Lucas Oil Speedway is back at it tonight.
Is he running for points down there?
I think so. I believe so. They're planning on going down there.
Listen, Earl Walls pays better than anybody else. Why wouldn't you want to?
Sure.
I was telling this to somebody the other day about modifieds. It was Richard Smith. I ran into Richard Smith. I've known the Smith since I was 16 years old. And I told him, if I had a modified, there's only two places that I think I'd want to run because they pay so good. Lakeside and CMS. Now, that has nothing to do with any of the other racetracks around here. It's only because their start money is as good as it gets, and they pay a lot to win. And I always race to win, so I always go where the money's the best. And those are the tracks that are the best right now when it comes to
they're NASCAR-sanctioned tracks.
And they're NASCAR Weekly Racing Series tracks.
Lakeside, unfortunately, not able to get their show in last night because of the storm, but they'll be back at it next week.
I got an announcement from the people at Carb Hall of Fame. Got a call from Dave Tyson out there at Carb Hall of Fame.
Yes, sir.
Going on today out there. We got a picnic.
Oh, the Legends I thought that was tomorrow.
It's today at 11 o'clock. Lakeside Speedway at the Clyde Ellis Campground. Free. Everything is free. Just bring a lawn chair. They're out there setting up right now. So,
all right,
as they speak. So,
okay.
You normally go to that, don't you, Kurt?
Yeah, but I thought it was tomorrow.
It's today.
It's today. I just got a call from Dave Tyson with the Carb Hall of Fame.
Out at Lakeside.
He's out there right now.
And what time is that supposed to take place?
11 a.m.
11 a.m.
11 a.m.
right.
And the Clyde Ellis Campground. And everything's free. Like you said, they got tent. They got everything. You just need to maybe bring you a lawn chair would be recommended. So,
all right.
Good to go. I'm glad you said that because I was getting ready to bring
a reminder that Carb Hall of Fame banquet is on Saturday, October 2nd. So mark that date on your calendar. Normally it's the first Saturday in March, but due to COVID concerns, it was postponed. So we're inducting the new Hall of Fame members on October the 2nd. So looking forward to that.
It's 7 minutes.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to show you some video from last night's ASCS Mid-South and ASCS Elite Non-Wing action at Crowley's Ridge. We're just going to show you a little about 7 minutes of it. And then we'll see you next week right here on Track Talk. It's all been brought to you by Lucas Oil Products, made in America, sold to the world.
Zimmerman up top, down the back straightaway, bound right there in tow from fourth to second already. We thought we might see it. Bowden versus Hagar. There your top two. Zimmerman not going away up top, though. Down the back stretch. Hagar leads. Bowden second. Zimmerman third. Howard fourth. Magic fifth. It's Carrier, Magic, and Cody Hayes, your current lineup. As Eric Hagar leading the charge on the bottom of the racetrack. Carrier, the lone driver, trying the top side right now. Now we got a little Magic on Magic battle. As Mike Magic and Michael Magic go at it, and the 44 said, I'll take both of you. As who will go to the outside, 3 wide for the fifth spot. As Howard sets his sights on Zimmerman. And Brad Bowden tries to close on the 9 junior of Derek Hagar. Both of them rolling the back to the bottom of the racetrack. Hagar, your leader. Bowden right there on him. Zimmerman up top in third. Howard on the bottom in fourth. As Carrier and Magic still duking out for the fifth spot. That's Mike Magic in the 4M machine on the bottom. Carrier up top. Hagar's able to separate himself just a little bit from Bowden that last time by. Zimmerman sticking right there with him on the bottom. Can he make something happen? Giving her all she's got around the top of the Crowley's Ridge Raceway tonight. He does not want to go back to Athens, Texas empty-handed. He He's been able to gain on Brown. He'll look to the outside of him down the back straightaway. Zimmerman's got a head of steam. Can he move into second? And not yet. Nearly even at the line, 1 and 2 though. Zimmerman's got the run. He will move into the second spot, and he'll set his sights on Derek Hagar trying to spoil the party. Hagar right around the Ute tires, trying to keep it in the moisture. Zimmerman, no stranger to danger on the top side. Able to get a pretty hellacious run out of turn number 4. Can he do anything in turn number 2? He's giving her the goose right now. Zimmerman letting the big dog eat right now in the second spot. As Carrier trying to hold off Howard and Magic. Howard on a bit of a slide now. As Zimmerman closing in on Hagar. Into turn number 1. Couple Carlings separating him down the back straightaway. Hagar on the bottom. Zimmerman up top. Drives her in hard in 3 and 4. Bounces her off the cushion. Handful of laps remaining. Lap traffic going to come into play. That's the 5M of Michael Magic. He goes to the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Zimmerman. Hagar's got to figure something out. He'll go to the inside of Magic. Zimmerman will go to the top side. 3 wide for the lead with the lap car. Zimmerman up top. Hagar on the bottom. He's got 3 Carlings on him. Zimmerman giving her all she's got up top. Hagar trying to hold him off. 3 Carlings separate him at the line. Zimmerman with a run on the top side down the back straightaway. Half a Carling to the 3. Is the bottom going away? Does Derek Hagar have anything left? At the line, too close to call. Zimmerman has a run on him in turns 1 and 2. Zimmerman will take the lead. White flag will wave this time by Hagar. Throws a haymaker. Zimmerman will pick up the white flag. 1 lap remaining. Derek Hagar will get 1 last shot at him. He'll throw it in deep in 3 and 4. He'll come up a little short. Justin Zimmerman will win the midgets tonight. What a race. So for 4 races in a row, I get to ask the question, Crowley's Ridge Raceway, what did you think about that? Justin Zimmerman pulls the upset, gets by Hagar on the top side, and picks up the midget victory. We thank y'all so much for joining us here at the Crowley's Ridge Raceway. Have a safe travel home. We'll see you again tomorrow night. Full racing action here at the Ridge. As we'll wait for our feature winner to climb from the race car, ladies and gentlemen, there he is, Justin Zimmerman!